Maga Matters. Captain James McCormick and author Greg Meakin prove why making America great again matters. Raw, unscripted, uncensored, uncanceled. Maga Matters with Greg Meakin and Captain James McCormick starts now.
You got me headed to the left, headed to the right, headed back and forth, but baby, it's alright. You got me going to the east, going to the west, going up and down, cause baby, you know best. All day, all night, running around, I'm never gonna stop because you never settle down.
I got a text. This is hot off the press, James. It's from Sheriff Lamb. I said that I'm going forward today. You know, my famous on-air quotes. I'm putting the number at 12 million illegal crossings during Biden's years. That includes getaways. And if that number's wrong, I believe it's low. If it's wrong, it's more. It would be more. So I queried Sheriff Lamb, told him we're going on air to get together, me and James today, and he said the 12 million. Okay, he said that's a good estimate. He said I would hammer home. I'll give you I'm quoting here, James. I would hammer home all of the Chinese nationals, mostly military age men. 37,000 Chinese nationals last year, 2023. And this year, we're only February, we are already at 20,000. That would put us almost double of what we were last year. Yeah. And in 2021, you're sitting down here, Captain. In 2021, there are only 450 illegal crossings by Chinese nationals. Yeah. This is, and that's
which is still 400. That's 400 too many.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
It's just
one
too many.
Is too many. Sure, one is too many. What people don't understand, James, I'll never understand this, that they don't understand, is President Biden started this with a signature on an executive order. It wasn't something that just fell onto our lap, and the evolution of migration and the joke that Kamala Harris was on the root causes of migration.
Could you imagine her being the president
of
this great country? Even for 24 hours, folks. You know, I know a lot of people are screaming, impeach, get rid of Biden, but gee, look what you're trading. You're trading that clown for the circus. I mean, it's like.
And James, don't let anyone fool you. Don't let the mainstream media fool you here. The Democrats are running around like Keystone Cops, dude. They've got a dilemma.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to cover for Joe Biden, James? My Democrat buddies have disappeared. Covering for him, and then you got no farm team. If you'll notice, the Republicans have the biggest farm teams probably since the New York Yankees or Montreal Canadiens. They got dozens of awesome Republicans lined up at the door that could be Veep or cabinet people or even presidents. The Democrats have like 2.5 broken hockey sticks, dude. In the right?
Yeah.
Who do you got? You got Kamala Harris. That's your first choice. Your second choice is like Gavin Newsom, and we got Michelle Obama in the wings. And who else you got? You got maybe Hillary. They're up to their eyeballs. James. So don't let them fool you. We have right now virtually the entire Republican Party and voters, James, registered legal voters. They're right now ready to go to the ballot box and vote for Donald Trump. Right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think he's 80 million votes ahead of. We've got an 80 million vote head start right now. Where he got 75 last time, I think.
Well, let me just say this.
Sure.
Well, first off, let's kick the show off because number one, you are listening to Maga Matters. Maga Matters. Why does Maga matter? Well, let me explain this to you. MAGA means Make America Great Again. Now, some of the criminals on the left and the lunatics have decided to just demonize that that acronym MAGA to mean something bad. So you mean when you say MAGA, those MAGA people, we want to make America great again. Okay. And our determination of great, we're not going back 100 years. We're not going back. We need to just go back about 30 or 40 years. Okay. And to be honest with you, 25 would probably do it because even though a lot of that was during the Clinton era, there was some prosperity that went on. So let's just be fair, you know what I mean, with economics. But if we just went back 4 years, we were in a heck of a better shape than what we are now. 12 million. We see Miss Val. She struck up some numbers there. 12 million illegal. Illegal. Let's understand that first word is illegal. So you enter this country breaking the law, and we're supposed to say, oh, well, they're just trying to find happiness and joy. It took 19 terrorists to create the worst havoc on this country on 9/11. Now you've got 12 million potential terrorists out there. All of them bad? No. But are some of them bad? Yes, 100%. Some of them are bad. And that's a fact. And they have been tracked. And that's the other thing that really, really surprises me, Greg, is that we have federal law enforcement that knows some of these people are tied to terrorists and stuff. Go pick their asses up and get them out of here before it becomes a problem. Why are they not doing that?
This is a daily walking tragedy, Captain. This is a tragedy. And the tragedy is that people are looking the other way. All of this started with an executive order signature by President Joe Biden. This wasn't something that just showed up or was some evolving causes of migration. He flat opened the border the week that he got in office, and that's what's created right up to this moment. It is a tragedy. The numbers are devastating. But what we were talking about earlier, and I know we're going to talk about a lot of this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I want to really be fun up front with folks is, number one, this is a relaxed, fun show. We've done, believe it or not, James, we've done 20 radio shows together.
Yeah, we don't mess around.
That's right, with lots of fun and lots of laughs. Rule number one, there's got to be laughs. The very first show we were on together, James, with you, me, and Miss Val, we were talking about age.
Yeah,
I analyze the generations, right? And I'm a boomer. You are a Gen X. Blah blah. We talk about that a lot. But what was funny is you and I got along so well from minute one. The first thing you ever said on radio to me was, that Greg, he's so old. He's the only guy I know who signed his name with a feather. Right. And I think you said something like I was present for the signing of the U.S. Constitution as well, whatever. So
you were a kid, but you were a kid, but you were there.
So, but on this, honestly, on this the MAGA title, I love it. MAGA Matters.
Yeah.
On America Matters Media. Okay, James. A quick Greg digress right here. Okay, I've done a lot of radio over the last 30 years. You know that. You know my age. You know, I've done
wow. Look, man.
I was doing radio.
You got the voice for it, man. Listen to your voice.
I was doing the radio in the Marconi days in the 20s, right? Whatever.
You and Oppenheimer was talking about the bomb back then.
So, dude, yeah. Anyhow, so I'm saying, honestly, the MAGA thing to me, because I love the title in that it's a magnet to a MAGA magnet to controversy and conversation. This was something that was branded by Donald J. Trump, MAGA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you realize? You tell me if this guy's a branding guy. I've been following him, James, since 1985.
Right.
Long before he got into politics. I'm saying he's the best brander in the world. So he brands MAGA. We got a show named after it. So it's got legs, this brand, right? He branded fake news.
Well, he was right about it. He was right about it.
Oh,
it's been that way for a long time. Greg, I was watching a YouTube video, 1970 Chicago, Vietnam veterans in Chicago,
right,
talking about the war in Vietnam and talking about all of the nonsense with politicians. Same conversation that we're having today.
Oh, yeah.
We're constantly repeating ourselves.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Politicians, lobbyists have gained too much power. It's corrupt. It's a swamp. We have an issue with control. See, people, I'm not going to say all, because I know some good politicians that are out there. I know some people that are honest to God. And look, I got them on. Look, I can call these cats on my phone. A couple of them, you know.
Right.
Actually, I got maybe 20 congressional leaders and senators. You know, I had breakfast in D.C. with some big wigs out there. But I'm going to just tell you, most of them get in there and they get corrupted. Day one, they may come in there with great intent, but then they start making the money, and then the lobbyists come in.
Yeah.
If you want to fix America, then you have to pull the teeth out of the lobbyist. Now,
absolutely.
Let me just say this. Let me just preface all of this. If I end up dead for saying this, I did not kill myself, okay? I want you to investigate it because I would never do that. But I'm going to just tell you something, that there are people that want to silence the majority. We're the majority. How in the hell do these people keep getting elected? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the tragedy that goes on. You know, you and I spoke about a tragedy we're dealing with here.
Sure.
22 suicides a day of our service members.
Yeah.
Unacceptable. The retreat from Afghanistan. Totally bullshit. Unacceptable. Okay.
Right.
Now, I can say that. All right. And I know that I might get, you know, the FCC might not like to hear that.
Or Justin Trudeau up in Canada might be hunting you down.
He shut us down, man. He shut down our Continue Mission radio show.
I know.
I mean, half you guys can't even, you know, the guys and gals in Canada up in Alberta that are trying to fight for their own freedom and become the 51st state of the United States. They can't even listen to our radio show anymore because what did we hurt somebody's feelings? People need to get over their feelings getting hurt. I don't care if I hurt their feelings whenever, until we stop 22 veterans a day killing themselves, until we fix the homeless problem. And you notice I didn't just say veterans, until we fix the drug addiction problems that was created by big pharma and the daggone radical, you know, the radical left, you know, that has supported this nonsense.
Yeah.
You know, we've got politicians on the right side. Mitch McConnell, time to go, buddy. It's time for you to go. You are well outside your prime. Kentucky, I know every person I talk to in Kentucky, I can't find a single one to admit that they voted for that guy in the last 15 years. Now, how in the heck does he keep getting elected?
This is... God, there's so much to unpack here, James. Again,
unpack it.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You get ready, right? I'm going to pull the hockey bag out. We got some smelly stuff going, dude. Oh, my God. The tragedy. There's so much to talk about. And remember, James, we're going to be doing a bunch of this. Okay, we're going to be doing more of this show, and this show will be following next month and the next month after. And so there's going to be a lot of stuff that we talk about.
Sure.
But the thing that I still can't understand is how everyone's looking the other way, including the media. I talk all the older guys like me and guys like you, James. You're 56 going on like 75 as far as life experience and war experience.
Yeah. 2 times.
But
2 times in that shit, man.
Well,
two different wars.
I know. Yeah. Boy, I'll tell you what, we got so much to share with this audience. And, James, we've rolled out, as I say, we've been together 20 shows. So much is on my YouTube channel. There's more James McCormick on my YouTube channel than Elvis Presley, man. You're a rock star, man. YouTube at Greg Meakin. But what I don't understand is people looking the other way. I'm just calling it treason now. If you look the other way and it's hurting American citizens like you and me and Miss Val and our friends Eddie Floyd and Jay, and it hurts all of us on a daily basis, from gas prices to border problems.
Yeah.
Baghdad Bob. Do you remember Baghdad Bob?
Yeah.
This is the biggest joke. Now, a lot of listeners won't remember him. He was the propagandist for Saddam Hussein during the first Gulf War. And he would come out. I mean, it's laughable now, but now I'm just seeing it every day. He'd come out and he'd say, no, there are no American soldiers at the airport, right? And the reporter would say, well, we were just down at the airport. There were a bunch of American soldiers. And he'd just look you in the eye and lie.
Well, of course.
And I'm watching it now. I'm just saying, who are we going to call Baghdad Bob? Because we're watching the media right now. They're telling us, oh, there's no problem at the border. Oh, this was a normal thing. The Afghanistan war, someone had to pull out. Whatever the excuses are. Back to you on that one, Captain. I did a little baby rant there.
Well, and I'm glad you did, Greg. Here's the thing: Americans need to start having these conversations. We don't have dinner table conversations anymore. Right. Okay. MAGA is not bad.
Correct.
MAGA, I got a tattoo, guys. So, does that make me a bad person? MAGA is not bad. We need to make America great again. I wish somebody would. You know what I mean? Let's go to what you said about Baghdad Bob and the media. Okay,
on a quick note there, James, a quick note, just because you touched on it. MAGA to me, make America great again.
Yeah.
Excuse me on that one. Means to me going back. I know I'm going to start punching my microphone like a Montreal hockey player, right? You got in a fight with anybody in Montreal.
Yeah, you were a hockey guy, man. I know. We're going to talk about that.
Do you notice? I don't know if you noticed, I'm wearing a referee's jersey.
You got any partials?
Yeah. I have all my teeth. I never lost one tooth or had any stitches playing 40 years of hockey. Seriously, you don't believe there's a God? Seriously, I got my referee jersey on because that's my brand. Is Dueling Citizens, right? It was I start the fight between either dual cultures or dueling points of view,
right? Because
we're only preaching to the choir now. So I start the fight as a referee.
Take care, Bill.
And then I mediate it. They try to break it up. So that's a fun old thing.
So let me do a shout out real quick. Bill Conrad just said he's got a break, says he loves the show. Hey, God bless you, brother. MAGA to you. Make America great again. We're in it together. We're in this fight together. Bill.
And MAGA to me means, and you were alluding it to earlier, is going back to common sense. I call it 1950s handshake world, which I still believe, James, is
me too.
2/3 of our country.
Me too.
And they're normal. I was chatting with our producer earlier, who's almost as old as me, James, but not that old. And then he had said he was kind of raised. I said, you guys, honestly, older Gen X's and younger boomers were raised by the greatest generation. Our grandparents and please and thank you and dining room table and manners and stuff.
Look, there was no negotiation for that.
Sure. So MAGA is not bad to me. It's make America great again. It means make America great in every way, including family, community, pulling together, helping each other, agreeing on the 80% of stuff we agree on anyways. It's the 20% of garbage that the media gets us arguing about. Back to you on that. I think that's 2 official rants already, James. You got me going today, man.
Listen, all of America should be ranting right now. Number one, I served in the military 22 years. Okay. Yes. 22 years enlisted. You can see there's a Purple Heart. There's all kinds of stuff behind me there. That is my life on that wall back there. Right. Okay, but that's not all of who I am or what I'm about. I'm all about patriotism, and I was raised by grandparents and parents that voluntarily went to Vietnam, voluntarily went to Korea, even after losing one of their brothers in the Korean War who was killed in action. Even after losing a cousin in the Vietnam War, they still volunteered. World War II, I couldn't swing a dead cat and not hit a World War II veteran in our area, kind of like what you grew up in, you know, with the World War II generation.
Right.
Now, what we used to have selfless citizenry. Now we have selfish citizenry. Not all. So let me just say that, preface that by saying not everybody's selfish, but we have grown up now and kids are being taught in a society, it's okay to get what you want. And any way you can get it, go ahead and get it. You know, it's not okay to do that. You have to be honorable. You have to not lie, do not lie, steal, cheat, and especially do not tolerate others that do. And how you do that doesn't mean you have to kick them in the head or beat them up or anything. Ignore them, walk away from them, stay away from it. Let's go back to Baghdad Bob and the media. The media. So the media, there's two groups of about less than 0.5% of this country run this country, and they're in the media and they're lobbyists. Those are the two areas. So you have, not all lobbyists are bad. I got friends that are pretty good lobbyists that do some cool things and advocates, but the bulk majority are bad. You know, and what it is they have the power of money to influence. So they have all of this money. These companies want to have this influence. You know, Forever Wars. You know, look, man, I'm a product of Forever Wars. You know, we bury kids every day from suicide. You know what I mean? As they are a product of Forever freaking Wars. And who makes the money on that? Not you, not me, not the average citizens. Let me tell you, all of you people that are out there voting, and you're thinking, well, I don't want to vote for Donald Trump, or I don't want to support.
James, breaking news. Breaking news from Deborah Meakin. I like this chat room here. Mitch McConnell announced today he's going to be stepping down.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank
Mitch
you, Deborah.
McConnell should have. Hey, look, listen, that's Deborah. God bless you. That's your household six, isn't it? That's your household. You know, here's what so let me tell you, for those of you that are not military, household six, the number 6 was commander. Okay. So we had a household 6. My household 6, her name is Heather. Okay. So she is ultimately the commander. Okay. She would remind me that she'd say, when I was in the Army, I was a captain then. And she says, you might be the captain, but I'm the commander. So they're always
big time.
Watching. You know,
we are. I went up on Facebook. I wrote a story about this. I said, I think you remember this. I said, am I the only older married guy who's completely frightened of his wife?
Yeah.
And I got like hundreds of guys. Right. I used to say this in business. You know this. I used to say, if you go into any great company, and you could do this in the military too, there's always one person who runs the show, who keeps it running like a Swiss watch, and it ain't the CEO. It's Sally. It's Sally, or in my case, it's Deborah. You know, the smarter person in the brains of the operation. But I really do. It's weird that it was off the cuff, but I reach out to Deborah. Deborah's a Topeka, Kansas, red state gal.
Tough.
Her daddy, she's an Air Force brat. Her daddy was a full bird Colonel B-52 pilot. Okay, and I'm this little Quebec liberal coming in, and I'll tell you, 40 years, it has been hysterical. Like, she's my boot camp. You know,
you needed it. You needed to get all of that out of you, man. So look, I was looking on my desk, man. I found a picture of the ship that you came over on right here. It's a little sailing vessel right here, folks.
It was just before the Mayflower, right?
It was just right
before the Mayflower.
We have a good time. I'm just kidding.
You must laugh. You must laugh, because if you just cry, because life has got to be one day at a time, and just laugh at the craziness going on, James.
So what I want to get to. So media. We digress.
Right.
Media.
Right.
Tell the truth. Like, look, we're telling you the truth right now. People are pissed off hearing your same old nonsense. I'm a person that views and watches. I'm the person that, and I'm going to just tell you this right now. If there's a commercial playing on a fake news outlet that I have seen and caught them in lies, and you are playing your commercial trying to sell, I won't buy that product.
Right.
That's the way the consumers of America need to be. Now, if you play on, now I'm going to tell you, I do watch some different Newsmax. That's one area.
Right.
One
Right.
News. Great source. Fox, you can get it from time to time. BBC, you can get it as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because they don't have that interest. But the thing that aggravates me the most is when they lie and they sit there and they know that they lie, and then they look at you like we're stupid. You guys are just going to gobble it up.
Thing. Where do you get us started here, right? Because everything that's been in the media the last 6 years has been wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's been wrong. You know, if you shut down the country, remember, what was it? Slow the curve, blah, 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 masks, all this stuff. But everything's been wrong. Everything's been wrong.
Wow.
And so stuff's been proven to be wrong. I love that. I still have, James, seriously, Democrat friends, a couple of which have multi-college degrees that say, and they really believe this, they say that Hillary Clinton would be president had Trump not colluded with Russia. He's like a Russia agent. And they look you in the eye. They got like a college degree. And they say that. But there's a couple words that Democrats, honestly, I swear to God, and I love them. I've got Canadian liberal friends, Democrat friends. They simply can't admit when they were wrong.
Yeah.
You know, hey.
I can tell you, man. I mean, you know, I went to college at West Virginia State, Ohio University.
Sure.
I'm working on a second master's degree. And I'm going to tell you, except for this one in technology, there is no political gyrations involved in class whatsoever. It is all about technology, which is why I love this second master's. And you know, and it's not me boasting, but it's like,
by the way, you got a master's degree last week, James.
Yeah.
You know, we do got to take a minute. Honestly, I don't know how we're looking coming up to our commercial time and stuff, but we do have to take a minute seriously to let everyone know who we are. There's so many people that are seeing us for the first time. Thank God. I've got a face that's perfect for radio. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're hearing us for the first time. And I just want to let people know, if we have a quick minute here, who we're talking to here. Captain James McCormick on the good-looking side of the screen there is a 3-time Purple Heart Award winner, 3-time Bronze Star, 1-time Silver Star. I think I'm going to make a song about that, like a partridge in a pear tree. You've been the national commander of the Military Order of the Purple Heart. You lead, and there's so much to say, but you lead what I say is I'm saying 500,000 military veterans and their families and so forth. You've been a Continue Mission radio host every Friday night. And I want to let people know who they have here and the guy they have on the screen, which is you. Seriously, amazing resource. You're accessible. I can't even begin to recite your resume, but Continue Mission Radio and just James McCormick. That's why we're sitting here. If I told you a year and a half, 2 years ago, James, I'd be sitting here on national radio with you. Either of us. Yeah, I was done. I had my story. I couldn't walk. I had my story of, hip replacement stuff, and wrote my book. But here we are. So that's Captain James McCormick. And one of these days, people will find out who I am. If you like hockey and you like Montreal and you like sparring it out and having fun, follow my stuff. But kind of welcome, James. Seriously.
Yep. We got about a minute until our break, folks. And then I want to come back and talk a little bit about your resume as well. So here's the thing, folks. We're here because we love America. That's why, because nobody sitting in these seats is getting paid. Correct. We're in here taking up our time because we want to come together as American citizens and say, man, we got to do something better. And look, folks, we'll be right back with more Maga Matters. We're going to go out for a little bit of a break for some of our sponsors that are out there. Make sure you listen and support them, because anything that's on America Matters is all American, baby.
It matters, baby. It matters.
Greg, I'm going to tell you so we can still talk, but I'm going to tell you, man. I think that our country is at a point right now that if we don't do something really quick, people have got to stop voting just for the damn people that that are that they see on the there you go. You said no too. Good. They see a commercial and they think, oh, that's the reality. Somebody comes knocking at your door. It's like, oh, I can name a half a dozen politicians that should not be in Washington, D.C. right now and really should be up on charges for treason. At least.
Absolutely.
At least.
Absolutely.
So.
What you're talking, and honestly, and this is really the core of it. This is an existential crisis in the United States. I believe we're going to see the kind of the accumulation on November 5th, election year. And I really believe the question I always get is, why I came to America, and can we even fix this mess? Can we even fix this mess? And right now I'm thinking existentially, we're coming to a fork in the road that honestly, if November 5th does not go well for Republicans, I'm just telling you, because I don't trust or believe anything out there now. Okay. That we are really, really going to go on a tailspin as a country. And I have some really high up folks like you do, James, that believe that we are messed up, man. If we have a Democrat White House again.
Well, it's not just that. It's the rhinos. It's the daggone people that are not even true patriots. The only loyalty they have, and we'll say this when we get back on the air, but the loyalty that they have is to their wallets, and that's it.
Right. Absolutely. And when you're touching on the corruption of Washington, D.C. and stuff, the stuff we see on TV, and I'm naive, there's bribed 50,000, 100 grand, 7-figure stuff going back and forth. I'll bet you there. And you say, blackmail, sexual blackmail and stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm naive where I expect our leaders to make decisions based on their constitution, their moral constitution. And that's what breaks my heart. That breaks my heart, is to see people really can be bought off. It really bothers me because that's against the founding fathers' wishes, James.
Oh, it is 100%.
We're going on in 10 seconds, I guess. Here we go. I didn't get my intro, my work of art, Chris Branam intro, man.
I think they played it.
Oh, really? Boy, I hope they did, because that was a work of art.
And welcome back to Maga Matters with Greg Meakin and Captain James McCormick here. And we were talking a little bit before we came back, during the break, about where are the loyalties that these elected politicians, and that's at every level, Greg. I'm talking every level.
Oh, yeah.
Their loyalty is to their wallet, to their own personal finances. They're there to make money, baby. That's what they're there to do. Make money, party, and they get into these positions. Look, people say, oh, well, this doesn't really happen. Look, it happened in the military. I saw it. Commanders who didn't know how to keep their pants up.
Can you give an example of that? Can you give an example? Oh, seriously, that give us an idea of our style. Give us an example of that. Of some high commander being kind of bought off or whatever.
We just, I'm trying to think of some names, but I won't give any names. But there was a high-ranking general. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Okay.
Just with the story, you didn't give names.
Well,
here we go. Right,
we're in trouble. The woman that wrote the book with him. You know what I mean? So if we don't say no names, we're good. You know what I mean? But they end up sleeping together. Come on, man. I mean, it's like. But even with that, this happens with people in any positions of authority, and this is why we have to vet these people better. Number one, we have a politician in West Virginia where I'm at, okay, and he is the current attorney general. Everybody thinks he's a great guy. Right. Well, a great guy doesn't lobby for Planned Parenthood or take money from those opposing Donald J. Trump.
Right.
A great leader doesn't brag about the fact that everything that they've done, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm the this, I'm the that. That's not a good leader. The other thing that they don't do is they don't take AI generated photos and make you think that they were sitting with Donald Trump in South Carolina when we know where your butt was sitting at. It was not in South Carolina with Donald J. Trump. And that picture was at least 15 years old and about 30 pounds lighter, man. I'm just telling you. And it's just amazing to me that they think these individuals think that they're so slick and that we're so dumb. You'll never figure it out. Let me tell you.
Right in front of us. Hey, you're talking AI. I'm telling you, AI, hologram technology. Are you kidding me? Am I the only person in the world that thinks things are just mental right now? I mean, we don't know who we're listening to and talking to.
Here's the beautiful thing about that. I've got the technology. I can take that picture and put it up against it, and I can tell you that it was AI generated. Because remember, I'm going for my master's degree in technology innovation. I am learning AI. So when you post them pictures up, trust me, I'm going in and I'm checking them, and I'm going to bust you out for being a liar and a clown. And I'm not going to be afraid to say it. I'm just going to tell you how it is. It's just the way
we've been busting news today, left and right, James, and we only started our first show, man. That's the key. That's the key.
Well, let's talk a little bit about. Let's go back to your introduction. Okay. Greg Meakin, my Canadian friend. Why did you leave Canada? It was such a socialist bliss there, man. Why'd you leave Canada? You and Justin Trudeau, y'all were good friends, played hockey together.
Everybody says that. Canada's just so happy. It's such a happy place. I'll tell you what, it really was almost like the U.S. growing in the 50s and 60s. It was. Mm-hmm. But I voted for. Here you go. I've done this kind of mini bio on Radio a million times, but I mean, I'm a Quebec liberal. Okay, I make today's Democrats look like a Bernie Sanders wet dream, dude. Come on.
But you're not a liberal now, though.
Oh no, I changed my mind. But I was raised in Quebec. I mean this. Thank God in heaven. I was U.S. born in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Never lived there because my mom got divorced, took us up to Montreal. So I was raised the first half of my life in Montreal, in Canada, and the second half, starting in 1983, in the United States. And I'm full citizen in both countries. Therein lies my brand, dueling citizens. I joke that I didn't think dual citizen could have any value, but boy, we've seen a lot of fun the last couple of years in Canada. James, are you kidding? Anyhow, I got sick and tired in Quebec as a young, ambitious English guy. People don't know an English guy in Quebec was minority, 12% of the population. And as a side note, we were making the money. I was in real estate and we were paying all the taxes. Hello. So I was raised in socialism. I was raised in martial law and the War Measures Act under Justin Trudeau in 1970. Come on. There were hundreds of guys in Montreal put in jail January 6th. Here we go. With no warrants and no attorneys. Hello. I lived through this stuff. I saw my English language outlawed on public signs. That scares me, like with Spanish down here and stuff. So one person only changed my mind, my heart, and that was Ronald Reagan. I've told you the story where I watched him. I followed him close. And I said, Reagan wouldn't put up with this BS in Quebec and Canada, the socialism. He wouldn't put up with this BS, and Americans wouldn't put up with it. So I packed up my car and I left. I thought I was going to go for a 60-day road trip till I ran out of money in 1983, and never went back.
Yeah.
I ended up getting a job offer in Seattle, Washington. The rest is history, but got a lot of history there. But other than being a 40-year car guy and a real estate developer, and have built an ice arena up in the Seattle area. And yes,
Wayne Gretzky guy.
That's right. I've been on the ice with Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
I swear to God, you're given certain gifts in life, and I can always say, I can like say to a golfer, I'm a terrible golfer, but I've had a hole in one.
Yeah,
I was a garbage hockey player, but I've been on the ice with Wayne Gretzky. You can say you're James McCormick, but you personally know Donald J. Trump and George W. Bush. So God bless us. Bottom line, long story, I lived in the United States and the COVID shut down 4 years ago. Was the year I retired. I was 61 years old, retired disability. Came down to Arizona, retired, and then with the COVID shutdown, I decided to write my third book. And it's Why I Came to America and What I Think Now. And here you go. Breaking news. First day this is available as an ebook just for this audience, baby. Ebook, $5. Why I Came to America, What I Think Now. I love it. Can only be purchased on gregmeakin.com. My website, gregmeakin.com. Seriously. And the rest is history. After the book, we just kind of got these kind of conversations going and stuff. And I've done over 100 radio shows and been with guys like you. But I'm just a quiet, retired guy in Arizona right now. The new one coming up. You ready? You ready? Why I Came to America, and can we even fix this mess? And breaking news, a gentleman who doesn't know he's going to be included in that final manuscript is a gentleman named Captain James McCormick. And there's going to be a chapter devoted to you, and there's going to be a chapter devoted to, you ready? Your UFO story.
Hey, man, that's a great story.
Iraqi soldiers surrender to a UFO. That's all. If you had time, honestly, before the show, take 5 minutes and tell it. It's already on my YouTube channel. It's the most unbelievable thing I've ever heard. And it's the answer to, can we move forward with good rather than evil? Big stuff, that UFO story. So turn it back to you. I've me talked about myself, but thank you for that. People can get a hold of me. I'm very accessible like you. My website's gregmeakin.com. And believe it or not, my YouTube channel, a very busy YouTube channel, this will be on YouTube, is at Greg Meakin. Imagine that. 1,100 videos on there, 600,000 impressions on that YouTube channel.
I know, man.
About 30,000 views and counting, and you're on a bunch of them. Like I say, I'm going to have you start signing autographs for everybody, James. Back to you on that. I blabbered, but I'm having fun today. Aren't you? Isn't it nice to be back on the mic?
Oh, look, man, it's nice to be back on the mic, and it's really nice to be able to talk about things that are important, like America, like our country. I mean, let's just cut to the chase here, okay? You're driving down the road. You're listening to this radio show right now. Right. You're watching it on YouTube, or you're watching it on Maga Matters, Facebook page, wherever you're at watching this, listening to it, whatever. I want you to really ask yourself, where do you want to be this time next year? Do you want to be sitting around saying, I wish I would have, or I should have? Or do you want to see, 4 more years of this nonsense, this jackery, these jackaloons that have put themselves in positions of authority? They've been voted in there. Bootlickers. Look, and let's just talk about civility and decency here, okay? Look, they just caught 2 guys having sex on the floor in the U.S. Senate chambers. Are you kidding me? And they videotaped it. How dumb, how foul can you be? And I don't care if it's 2 guys, 2 girls, a guy and a girl, whatever, 2 dogs, whatever. Okay. It's wrong. It's not the place to do these things. And it's like, there's just no decency whatsoever. And you can go all around, and I'm in DC quite often, but you can go all around DC and you see this just boogery, that goes on around there.
It's a debauchery. Deborah and I were talking about that yesterday, where there's been a line crossed, mainly from social media, where everything goes now. Everything's mainstream. Again, that could be an entire show on that, James. Could be an entire show. One thing
what though, Greg? There would be more people trying to cancel you and I for this radio show talking about this than there is anybody wanting to cancel that nonsense and that debauchery that's going on, that the evil wickedness. Come on, man. I mean, no matter how you believe, come on.
Yeah,
God is real, whether you don't believe in God or not. I'm going to just tell you, God is real. He's watching. He keeps track of all this stuff, and we should be keeping track of that. And so when these people show up and they say, well, you should just forgive and forget. Forgive, yes. Forget, no. You've got to be able to remember these things, and then you've got to be able to say, until you show me, I believe people can change, okay?
Right.
Until you show me that you have changed, then I can't have anything to do with you. I really can't. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Right. I do believe the questions continues to come is, can we fix this mess? And what are we going to do moving forward? How do we fix this? How do we get a momentum going back? As I say tomorrow, it's just traditionalism. It's common sense. It's nothing,
Yep.
nothing out of the ordinary. And how do we do that? And number one, we got to do it in November. And like you say, you and I, guys like you and me and Miss Val, she's been commenting a lot on the chat here, which is great.
And we're going to our next break right now.
Are we? There, anytime, let me know.
And now, folks, we're going to our next break with Maga Matters. Okay. All right. Awesome. So,
back in the saddle, man. This is just
back
fun.
in the saddle. I need the clock. I don't have the clock here in front of me. You need the clock. You're the tech guy, man.
Yeah, I don't have it. I'm just going, oh, here we are. Damn it. Oh, darn. Yeah, Deborah's in here. Oh, we got the chat. Look at me have the show. I'm such a loser with technology. Right? But
yeah, you're looking at all the chat there. Look at Miss Val. Miss Val's been in there.
Yeah, he's been
Miss
busy.
Dev's
Bill
been in there.
Conrad.
Bill Conrad, man, that guy had some great words of wisdom. I need to have him on this show.
Wow, let's do it. Remember what's nice about this, James? This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Once again, this is just you, dude. This is just you and me sitting around, having a couple of beers in the saloon or in the locker room, whatever, just BSing, and that's what it's all about. Because you know what? That's what people are talking about. They're talking about stuff in the grocery store, at the gas station. They're talking about down to earth stuff, not this Washington, DC garbage. Thanks to everybody, seriously, in the chat. Val Olson, Bill Conrad, a wonderful gal named Deborah Meakin. You guys are great. Tony.
She needs a medal.
Yep, there you go.
Deborah Meakin needs a medal.
We won't get there, man. We can do a whole show on that, man. I'll tell you what. I always say, thank God my kids have my wife's looks, right? But true blessing. If people don't believe in God, then they haven't seen my marriage, my 40-year friendship with my
Absolutely, man. And there's nothing wrong. And people have gotten to the point, and we'll talk about that when we come back on. We'll have probably 12 minutes. But Greg, that's what's wrong with this country. They just keep flopping around. They're like a bunch of bees going from flower to flower, spreading their pollen, picking up their pollen, whatever. And it's like there's no stability. There's zero stability. And I don't know. Look, it was going on long before us. Divorces became kind of popular, I guess, in the late 60s and 70s.
Oh, yeah.
But
the wave back, though, starts in November. I believe there is a wave of, let's say it, United Republican Party.
It's got to be.
Like I've never seen. Really good. Again, don't let the media, stir the pot there. We're really united. I think Donald Trump's got an 80 million head start vote.
Yeah. Well, people are really upset. That's for sure.
That's where it starts. And then that's where I'm going to guess 50 to 100 executive orders by Donald J. Trump, just like Trump did, just like Biden did. And again, a couple scores of executive orders, just getting the country back, reopen Keystone, close the border. I'm going to be all over, James, if we can talk about this sometime. I'm going to be all over the 1 year post high school. This is biggie, just the mandatory like the Israelis do. It's not necessary military service, but civil service to get all of us united as a country moving forward before we head into.
And we're back from our break.
And our breaks are good. Our breaks are good. We got good behind the scenes secrets, Captain James. Right?
Yeah. So secrets. The destruction of the American family has been instrumental in the rise of this leftist ideology, allowing families to look. Getting married should be hard. Getting divorced should be hard. Okay. It shouldn't just be everything goes. But also raising your children It's unbelievable that how many grandparents are raising their grandkids. Look, we're not any exception to that. That happens to everybody. You see families that are, that are caught up in this. But you've been married for what, 40 years?
Yeah, together almost 40. Yep.
There you go.
1984. Indeed, the country just needs to get back.
Tony Garcia Martin, God bless you for saying it. Stop the indoctrination of our children. Vote out the rhinos and the Dems.
But we start it, we fix it. There's a wave back, a tsunami back. I believe it's going to start on November 5th.
Yes.
It's going to include so many great patriots we know. It'll be Donald J. Trump, MAGA, by the way, MAGA. We'll show plug there.
MAGA.
But it'll be the Sheriff Mark Lambs, or the leaders out there, and there's lots of guys in your world in West Virginia, and I believe that there's going to be a wave back because of social media, because of stuff like this today. Well, you simply are not able to keep us quiet now, James. You're not able to keep us quiet.
Well, thank God for that. And, Tony, thank you for making that comment. Miss Val, she is really coming out with some great things. Lack of accountability, have authenticity, show your true self, proof of actions, crave justice. You know what I mean? You want results. I mean, I'm reading this that she's sending us in our chat box, and folks, it is real. I am tired of look, I've had people walk up and cuss me out because they didn't like what I was saying. Okay. Let me tell you, number one, if you're a woman and you come cussing me out, I'm not going to punch you in the mouth. But if your husband does, I probably will. Okay. And that's a fact, because, but if you come up with that nonsense, then be able to come up and have a civil conversation. I'm telling you, Greg, I have been around. And the worst of the worst are government employees that are liberal leftist, that are allowed to just operate off the chain on social media. Nothing ever happens to them. But you let some government employee show up to a Donald Trump an event. They're going to have pictures. They're going to go after their kids, everything else. And that's the kind of nonsense that needs to stop. If you can't have a civil conversation, you can't, speak as a human being, or if you're a so-called quote unquote little man that you have to hide behind a woman to go say things, nasty things to people, then we don't need you. Okay. You're not helping the situation at all. And what I'm really surprised at seeing is so many veterans. There was this active duty Air Force guy walks up and sets his butt on fire in front of the Israeli embassy. Why? Yep. You are dumb for doing that. That was dumb. Now, people say, I don't know if he died. I don't know if he's still alive. I don't know. I feel sorry for his family.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I really do. I don't believe that his entire family supported that. Right. And, I don't believe that at all. And that's why I'm not saying his name. But it is absolutely, well, we shouldn't be surprised. Look at the crap that they're pushing in the military now. We can't get anybody to join. That's because you're sucking up to the 0.1% of this population that are really in need of mental help and not in need of enlisting in the military. No, you are either a man or you are a woman. And you need to do those things that God has created you to do.
Yeah.
Period. And I'm sorry, but I don't care how many dresses that you wear. I don't care what I am not calling you ma'am.
And how we were raised, James, like it says, I was raised, 60s, 70s. It was honestly, there was such an element of colorblind just in the workplace, the military. There was an element of who you are, as long as you play football well, whatever, and it's become, again, we've become divided, all that stuff. I do want to say, again, thanks to everybody in the chat room. Tony Garcia Martin, you're great. Thank you. Do we have time or maybe even for another show, but a quick Arizona update, a border update?
Yeah, let's
Your
go ahead and
time?
go into that. We've got 5 minutes. Yeah, we got 5
Okay,
minutes.
and because I'll do this quick, you just don't come on the news for fun. You come up to bring red meat, new information, stuff that people haven't heard before. And I
Sure.
just want to let you know, I think we might have touched on it in the preview, but I got an up-to-date report from Sheriff Mark Lamb down here of the border and things to be concerned about. And this is hot off the press, right, James? We only deal with secrets, right? Hot off the press. I'm going to take the liberty and read the text if we can, for folks that might have not heard it earlier, because I'd asked him if he had any words for folks out here, because my number now going forward publicly is 12 million. Okay, I say there's going to be 12 million illegal crossers during the Biden administration. That's my number. And it's going to include getaways, could possibly even be more. But I asked the sheriff about that this morning because he knew I was going on the air. And this is Sheriff Mark Lamb, Pinal County, and current candidate for the Republican nomination for the U.S. Senate down here in Arizona. And Sheriff Lamb says, quote, "That's a good estimate, the 12 million. I would hammer home all of the Chinese nationals, mostly military age men. 37,000 Chinese nationals last year, 2023. And this year, we're already at 20,000. That would put us almost double for 2024 of what we were last year. Get this, in 2021, basically a Trump regime holdover. In 2021, there were only 450 illegal Chinese crossers. So there you go. That's the scoop there. And of course, it's Super Tuesday on Tuesday. Imagine that, next Tuesday, March the 5th. Big day. There's 16 states. Check them off. There's 16 states that are going to be choosing their nominees moving forward. I think the nominee process will be virtually over after Tuesday because, again, 16 states and one U.S. territory. In Arizona, same thing. This is kind of an existential election down here. Right now we have Carrie Lake versus Mark Lamb on the Republican side. And then we have two irrelevant folks. This Ruben Gallego on the Democrat side, though, James. Parental warning here. This guy's a Marxist loser. Okay, Arizona's so close to being a blue state. It's scary. So between Carrie and Mark Lamb hasn't got a lot of national attention, but the race is going to be close. Most good Republicans say, hey, we support either. I'll be voting for Mark Lamb. I've endorsed him. I'm a friend of his for the last 4 years. But I've even told Carrie, whoever wins, it's maybe the best candidate win, I will 100% support them in the U.S. Senate because we need to have at least 51 votes in the U.S. Senate to get anything done.
And we'll put them on this show.
There you go. So there's some breaking stuff and some good numbers. People got to know, James, right? Whenever they listen to us, they need to keep a notepad handy, right? For the busting news.
Well, let me tell you, Donald J. Trump's team is watching this show right now, and I know that to be a fact.
Really?
Because, yes, sir. It's Maga Matters, man.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, tell them that Why I Came to America and what I think now is an ebook for $5 on my site till the 5th, Super Tuesday. $5. Maybe they could afford it in their campaign budget. $5.
Next
GregMeakin.com, which is spelled GregMeakin.com. It's been a blast to be back in the saddle with my favorite captain here, James. Here's
what I'm going to say real quick, because we got like a minute left here. Minute and a half. The hockey jersey, I will wear it. The one that you sent me on the next show. Okay.
Really?
Yes, and we're going to talk about the Alberta 51st movement, and we're going to bring Miss Val on. And some of you wonderful listeners that are commenting, we will bring you on the show.
Correct.
We will bring you on the show. You want to know why? Because I have loved Tony Garcia Martin. God bless you. You are 100% patriotic American. Val, God bless you. Mr. Conrad, yes, absolutely. Miss Deborah Meakin, love you all, okay? Because you care. You care enough to not just cruise on by, listen to it a little bit and say, it's just a couple of guys just arguing about this, talking about MAGA, make America great again, because we're really trying to make America great again.
Yep.
And if you don't, and if we don't work together here real quick, folks, I'm going to just tell you, we're going to lose this great beloved nation to socialism, communism, and Marxism. Greg, that's all we have today for the show, buddy. I'm going to let you close it out because I love you, and you signed your name with the feather one time.
Isn't that great? It's so weird being the old guy. I used to trash older guys, dude. But no, I just it's the deepest thanks to you, my friend, Captain James. God bless. I mean this. I'll tell you what, this crew here, Eddie. I'll tell you what, Eddie's he's a superstar.